Good evening and welcome to the 2016 Ross Shepherd High School Totem Hoop Classic. ICU Video and Ross Shepherd are proud to bring you the tournament championship games in the women's and men's seniors division in one of the biggest preseason basketball tournaments in Western Canada. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Donnan, and I'm pleased to be joined tonight by Robin Fleckenstein and Connor O'Donovan on camera. We're going to bring these games to you, and we begin with the senior women's final in what has been a tremendous tournament so far. And, of course, with ICU Video, we don't podcast, we procast. The women's final features St. Albert Composite High School, the Skyhawks, they're in white. Jasper Place Rebels in their traditional black and red. Welcome, Robin, and what a tournament so far.
It's been fantastic so far, Kev.
Skyhawks now in white, kick it out. Three won't go. Rebounded. That's number 4, Kenzie Thera. And we've got our first bucket of the ball game.
That's a great aggressive move there inside to get that offensive board and just finish strong.
McKenna Legister now. Over to Mudge, number 5, Morgan Mudge. Watch for her tonight down the baseline, and ball will go out of bounds. Good baseline move by number 13, Camille Wilson of the Rebels. ICU Video bringing this women's final to you from the Ross Shepherd almost main gym, while the regular gym is being renovated for the 60th anniversary of Ross Shep. We are in the small gym. Skyhawks walk on that possession. And the possession arrow goes back to the Rebels. Mudge now will control and direct from the 1. Back out over the nice pass down low and will not go. Rebound by number 15, Sarah Diedrich. Skyhawks now out front. Good ball movement by the Skyhawks here. That's number 7, Marina Kane driving with the ball. Battle down below, and it is rebounded by the Rebels. Number 11, Haley Weaver, and she gets called on the travel. Preseason tournament here, Robin. This is certainly a big game between two teams who we will see down the road provincially.
Definitely, there's no question these two teams will be present in the rest of the race towards that big gold medal at the end of the season.
Loose ball now, that's number 11, Weaver. She drives, and it won't go. Rebound by number 8, Lauren Cardinal. Kicks it out to number 5, Abby Morrison down low, and the Skyhawks convert. Number 4, Kenzie Thera.
It's another great patient finish inside. For a younger player, those can be really tough, intimidating in a big game here.
Jasper Place, of course, winning their semifinal, 67-63 over Spruce Grove. Bit of a nail-biter yesterday afternoon at 4:30, Robin, and that was a tremendous game. Of course, Spruce Grove, another team that you can say will be in contention.
Yes, there's no question. They have some high-caliber players there as well, and they've been producing good university-level athletes for a few years now.
McKenna Legister, number 7 of the Rebels, hits both of her free throws. 8 minutes to go here from Ross Shep. The Totem Hoop Classic, the women's senior final. Skyhawks now. Try down low, and that's broken up. Here comes Mudge, number 5, all the way. Baseline move by the Rebels. And the foul, that's number 7, Legister again. Good work down the baseline by Legister, the grade 12, 5'10" Rebel, who's in her senior year. And of course, Robin, how does the season starts next week. This is a good test in terms of getting used to pressure, getting used to some of these games. The tournaments start kicking up. Legister makes both of hers, and this is a really good test early on for all of these teams.
Yeah, there's no question that these preseason tournaments are vital in getting prepared for what can be a very lengthy season. There is that exam break in January, but you'll see that most of these high-level teams, they play all the way through Christmas, all the way through the exam break. They really don't take any time off because there's just too much to get done.
Morgan Mudge, number 5, everywhere for the Rebels. Grabbed the rebound. lost the handle on the ball. It will be last touched by the Skyhawks. It will be inbounded by number 11, Haley Weaver. Now here's Mudge. Here on the near side, Legister now. Good pass down low. Can't convert, but the Skyhawks will take over. It's number 7, Marina Kane, here on this near side. Good defense by the Rebels, and the possession arrow will change. Robin, of course, a coach here at Ross Shep, coaching the women's junior team, and of course you've got an exciting season coming up.
Yeah, no question there. We're going to have a lot of building going on this year, and we have a very young team with the juniors, so it'll be exciting to see them develop.
Peyton McNeil, number 11, and number 13, Bella Kuchitz, check in for the Skyhawks. Of course, the Skyhawks have a very young lineup. They have some grade 10s on this senior team. Great defense by number 13, Camille Wilson of the Rebels. Blocks that shot down the baseline. Just 4 grade 12s on this in this Skyhawks lineup compared to 8 for the Rebels. How does that factor in, Robin, in terms of the experience factor? You've got 8 grade 12s with the Rebels, 4 on the Skyhawks.
I'd say that experience determines the pace of play, the aggressiveness of play. I mean, these grade 12 kids are really more ready to physically battle with each other. When you're younger, it can be much more intimidating to go up against a grade 12 kid. So it's definitely an important determinant.
Good drive by Haley Weaver, the foul on number 8, Lauren Cardinal. 6:32 to go here at the Totem Hoop Classic here at Ross Shep. Of course, as we mentioned, Ross Shep celebrating 60th anniversary next year, and of course the palatial main gym will be complete by next September. Scramble for the ball.
Ooh.
Players all over the floor. Looks like we've got an injury. Number 4, that's Kenzie Thera of the Skyhawks. Difficult to tell. It looks like a knee for sure. She is pointing at her right knee at this stage, and we certainly hope she's going to be okay.
Yeah, she came down ugly on that one, I think.
Bit of a scramble for the ball. 6:28 to go here in the first quarter. Of course, 10-minute quarters in the game. As we mentioned, the Skyhawks in their semifinal took down the host team 80-32. One thing that we talked about early on is that both teams have the ability to score and score often. Right now, Robin, bit of a defensive battle right now. Is it a question where you get that adrenaline going? You know that this is a tournament final, and you sort of wait until the team settles down a bit.
I'd say right now this is not the prettiest basketball we've seen from either team. So there's no question that this is going to open up. I think both teams are very able to score into the high numbers, so it's just a question of which team heats up first. I'm sure right now nerves are playing into this, although JP is an older program, does not make them less nervous for a tournament final. Always a big factor, those nerves.
Of course, Jasper Place trying to repeat as champions. They won the senior women's Rebels won this tournament last year, so they're looking for the repeat. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Spruce Grove was a provincial title contender. They had won back-to-back titles here at the Totem Hoop Classic in 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So
I lost to them in the final in 14.
Uh-oh. Bringing up some bitter memories here at Ross Shep.
I don't like losing, so it's definitely a tough one.
Absolutely. So we have the medical staff taking a look at number 4, Kenzie Thera, who went down on that right knee here with 6:28 to go in the first quarter here at the 24th annual Totem Hoop Classic. It is one of the biggest preseason basketball tournaments in Western Canada. And, of course, this crowd gives Kenzie Thera a nice round of applause. Hopefully she can come back. She is able to walk off on that right knee. That's what she was that's what they were working on here. So I'm glad that she's able to walk off. So coming out of that injury timeout with 6:28 to go. Tie score here early on, 4-4. Inbound by number 13, Bella Kutzitz.
It'll be interesting to see how Satches comes back from that. She is the player who just scored the first 4 points for that Satches team. So
nice work down low by the Skyhawks.
great. Oh, wow. Great transition offense there by JP.
Here comes Morgan Mudge, who is the quarterback of this team, really. Nice little lay-in by number 11. Haley Weaver can't get it to go. Skyhawks rebound. Into the paint for number 11, Peyton McNeil. And the ball goes out of bounds, and the Rebels will take over. Checking in for the Rebels are number 2, Olivia Huang, and number 12, Sydney Fedek. Huang now at the point guard position. Takes over for Mudge. Nice, down low. That's number 9, Sarah Rinsky. Good ball movement by the Rebels, Robin.
Yes, that's an excellent find inside, just being clever and being patient in their offensive set. That's exactly what you should expect to see out of them for the rest of the half.
It's number 14, Ain Murphy. Can't handle the pass, so the possession arrow ball travels out of bounds, and the Rebels will take over. This is Wong, number 2. Grade 12 guard. Rebels now with a bigger lineup out there. That's Wong, number 2. Kicks it back out. Good ball movement by the Rebels. There's a 3, and nearly converts. That's number 7, McKenna Legister. But the Skyhawks rebound. Here's number 5, Abby Morrison. Down low to McNeil, number 11.
Nice hesitation there on that read.
Travel the call on the Skyhawks, number 8, Lauren Cardinal, and the Skyhawks call a timeout here. 6-6 with 4:58 to go in the first quarter. Robin, so far this championship game, both teams playing very strong defense at this stage.
I think right now, like you said, the nerves are being a factor. I mean, there are some easy bunnies that are being missed inside, missed early, and then we're just seeing a lot of turnovers off of forced things that just aren't there. So the patience is going to come into play here, and it's really going to become more of a mental game, I think, than a physical game. It's a pretty fair physical matchup right now. So
both teams match up very well in terms of size. There isn't really a big advantage in terms of size. Both teams run the floor extremely well.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, that Skyhawks team with a lot of youth. So, of course, with youth comes energy and enthusiasm, and certainly the Skyhawks had a ton of that coming throughout this tournament.
Well, they're high school kids. Aren't they supposed to all have
That's
energy?
right, and boundless energy. You bet. 4:58 to go here in the first quarter. Tie game 6-6, the women's final here at Ross Shep at the Totem Hoop Classic. ICU Video, proud to bring you both the women's and men's final. Kevin Donnan along with Robin Fleckenstein and our cameraman Connor O'Donovan. That's Olivia Wong with the turnover.
Great push there in transition.
Good battle by number 13, Bella Kutzitz. Strong to the hoop. Non-shooting foul here. Skyhawks now.
Oh, great cut inside.
Nearly converted the pick and roll, but here's Legister now. Kicks it back out to Huang. Huang will try the 3, won't go. And the ball goes out of bounds. Marina Kane and number 11, Peyton McNeil for the Skyhawks. Trying to work that pick and roll down low, Robin.
I think we're still seeing a lot of nerves. We're forcing a lot of shots that they wouldn't usually be taking. I think we're gonna hopefully see some patience set in here from these teams, but.
Another turnover now. Huang kicks it back out. The drive.
Oh.
And a hard foul. That's number 5, Abby Morrison.
That was a great stretch finish there. I think there was a
12,
little bit more than ball on that finish.
Sydney Fedek goes down, but
she's a tough kid, though.
no foul.
No.
Turnover here. Rebs keep possession. Wong now down low to Legister. Nice run by little sky hook, a little junior hook by number 7, Legister. Good individual effort. That's Morrison now with the penetration, gets called with the extra step. So Skyhawks will make a change here. They'll sub out 3 players. Rebels will only take out 1. And Huang will bring the ball up for the Rebels. Rebels in black, Skyhawks in white. Women's final Totem Hoop Classic. Number 11.
There we go.
Haley Weaver from the top of the key. Both teams seem to be settling down a little bit now.
Yeah, they're just starting to play as opposed to just having nerves. It's nice to see them settling into the flow.
Morrison trying to get the ball, feed the ball down to number 15, Sarah Diedrich. Skyhawks maintain possession. That's number 12, Kea Vandermeer. Back into the paint, kicks it back out. Won't go. Skyhawks maintain possession following that shot. And it'll be, and the possession will go to JP. Bit of a scramble for the ball there, Robin. And
we're seeing a lot of those.
yeah, Rebels now maintain possession and have a 10-6 lead here. 3 minutes to go. Opening quarter in the women's final. Here's Wong now. She's going to drive in the paint, and she'll shoot 2. Foul on number 9, Brooke Fromont. Grade 10 guard, number 9 for the Skyhawks, and Huang will shoot 2. Huang can't convert her first one. She'll make this one. And the Rebels, the visiting team in this case, now have a 5-point lead, 11-6, 2:54 to go here in the opening quarter. Rebels and Skyhawks from the Ross Shep gym, and pass gets away from number 9, Brooke Fromont, and it's an up and back. So Rebels will take over on the Skyhawks side of half. That's number 11, Haley Weaver, who will inbound for Jasper Place.
And JP with subs in here, but you're going to see the difference between JP and other teams is when they sub in, they don't lose anything on the floor. They just have so much talent and so much skill that they are going to continue to have that high level of intensity. And
Mudge, number 5. Ooh. Attempts a long 2, number 7, Marina Kane with the foul. So Mudge will shoot 2. As you mentioned, Huang comes out. Mudge comes back in, and like you said, in terms of tempo and pace, there's really no difference for the Rebels at this point.
Yeah, that's
in terms of both Mudge and Huang having the ability to push the ball up the floor.
Yes, and you're going to see that JP's players, they all are able to play multiple roles, and they're all comfortable in being scorers and really looking to be aggressive, and it's just so deadly.
Rebels now with the press. Mudge now on number 9, Fromont, who brought the ball up.
I think Mudge is a bit of a one-man press.
Yeah, I tell you, talk about energy from number 5 of the Rebels. 3 won't go. Rebound now by number 10, Lillian Burke-Stasiuk. And Mudge will settle things down. Kicks it over to number 11, Weaver. Weaver now back to Mudge. Mudge at the top of the key. Down low. That pass intended for number 13, Camille Wilson, won't go. Here's number 5, Abby Morrison. And that errant pass goes out of bounds for number 14, Ain Murphy. And Weaver of the Rebels will inbound to Mudge. Just under 2 minutes to go here at the Totem Hoop Classic, the women's final. Oh, beautiful pass down
Nice
low.
backdoor.
Kicks back out. Here's Mudge for three, and it won't go. Jasper Place controlling the boards now. Mudge eyes a drive. Down low to number 12, Sydney Fedek, and she converts from the paint.
It's a great create. You know, you can get disappointed about making a mistake or shooting a shot and missing it, but Mudge didn't get disappointed at all. She just attacked the next one and found the open man.
It's number 5, Abby Morrison with the drive. And she'll shoot 2.
It's a great answer from Satches.
Abby Morrison, the grade 11, 5'8", grade 11 guard. Much like Mudge and Huang for JP, number 5, Morrison of the Skyhawks, who's had a tremendous tournament so far, is sort of the engine of that Skyhawk offense.
Totally.
And she gets both to go.
I think right now Satches has to just go back to what works for them, keeping that tempo high, and there's no question that Abby Morrison she's really creating a lot of those great looks for them.
Pretty good matchup right now between both number 5s, really, Abby Morrison of the Skyhawks and Morgan Mudge of the Rebels. Here's the drive, and can't get it to go. That's number 7, Legister. Steal now by Mudge. Won't go. Rebound now by number 15, Sarah Diedrich, and the Skyhawks. That's Morrison settling things down. Final minute of the opening quarter. Skyhawks down by 6.
Great
Good
read.
pass down low, really nice feed. Diedrich can't convert. Here's Weaver now, number 11. And she gets called for the extra step. Is this what you expected at this stage, Robin, for this opening quarter? As we mentioned, a little bit of nerves. It's still very. I mean, we haven't even started the regular season yet. But is this what you expected? How you expected this first quarter to go?
Yeah, there's no question. I knew it was going to be a physical battle. These are two very aggressive teams, and there's no love lost between them. So it's going to be like this all game, I believe. I did expect to see Satches scoring a little bit more, but I think with that injury, it may have put them back on their heels slightly. But it's good to see both groups really being physical and being aggressive through their play.
Kenzie Thera went down at 6:28 of this opening quarter with a knee injury. She has not been back into the ball game for the Skyhawks. Near drive by Weaver, and the foul called, loose ball foul.
That's a tough one. All those late fouls always really hurt you.
Murphy, number 14, with the loose ball foul. And number 10, Lillian Burke-Stasiuk, will shoot for the Rebels. Can't get her first one to go. 5.9 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Rebels with a 6-point lead, 14-8. Make it 15 now with that one.
Great hustle.
Burke-Stasiuk. Big steal by the Rebels, and number 11, Haley Weaver, converts.
That's a big swing there at the end of a quarter to get a steal and a score in the 4 last seconds. That's a big swing.
Big steal by the Rebels, and your score as we head into this second quarter, 17-8. So for the Skyhawks, what is John Diedrich telling his team right now, Robin?
He's telling them to calm down. He's telling them that the game is still there. It's still on the table, and it's anyone's for taking. I mean, 9 points is nothing. 9 points is 3 possessions. So there's no question that this is still an open match, but I think Satches needs to step up to the table and really stay aggressive and stay in their game plan. Right now they're just not connecting on all of those passes, on all those open looks, and once they start capitalizing on those, they're going to have no issue scoring. This is a team that can score quick, and they can score with aggression. So they shouldn't get back on their heels.
Do the Skyhawks open this quarter with a press? Do you try and see if you can start forcing the Rebels into making mistakes? What, as a coach, and you've coached a lot of basketball. I mean, you're a former Pandas coach. You're a coach now. Do you go into a press or do you wait? What's like with a 9-point differential? what are you coming out and doing defensively if you're the Skyhawks?
I think you have to know your personnel, and I think with Satches, there's no question that they are a very high-tempo, high-aggression team, and I think a press right now would be a fantastic way of putting JP back on their heels. The tough thing to think about is that JP is full of veteran, smart players, so a press may be less effective against them, but it might be a really good attempt just to switch things up right now.
Skyhawks come out of this time. We start the second quarter with the Rebels on top 17-8, and we're underway. Here we go. Abby Morrison now to number 15, Sarah Diedrich, right at the corner of the key. Pass won't go, and that's
I think
Camille
that's more
Wilson.
nerves there, right? Because there was an open player in the corner and just getting, obsessive about scoring at the rim. You got to be aware of what's available.
Huang now at the point guard position for Mudge for the Rebels. Huang number 2. Rebels moving the ball really well. Beautiful shot. Number 12, Sydney Fettig from the corner. Good for 2. Another steal. That's Camille Wilson, her second steal in as many possessions. Down low now. Number 12, Fettig. Non-shooting foul, and the Rebels will inbound that foul on number 13.
I think that's Camille Wilson showing you her grade 12 IQ, right? When you're just an older player and you see
just an old pro, right?
when you see
That's
that
right.
kind of thing, you know what you're capable of physically, right? Whereas a younger player maybe shooting the gap all the time, she's just waiting for that easy one to come to her.
As we mentioned, the Rebels with a veteran-laden lineup. They have 8 grade 12s as opposed to number 4, and one of those grade 12s. Check that number. Sydney Fettig has got another season ahead of her.
She looks like a grade 12.
I was going to say, looking like a veteran
yeah.
on that lay-in. Great job
Sydney
by number
Fettig's
12.
been that size for 2 years, if you can imagine that. So she has been a big girl. She's very comfortable with her body size, and she's able to be a physical player because of it.
Playing the 5 for the Rebels and a physical force, allowing Wilson to get free, allowing Olivia Huang to be creative. Kicks it back out. That's number 7, Legister.
That's
4-3 from downtown. That is her shot, and she's been looking for that all game, and now the Rebels have opened things up here, 24-8, early stages of this second quarter. St. Albert Skyhawks. Morrison for 3, won't go. Rebound by the Rebels, and that's Fettig. She'll let number 9, Sarah Rinsky, grab that one. Wong tries to lay that one in and can't. Possession arrow will change the Skyhawks. Check
right
that.
now,
looks like the Rebels will have.
Satches is really missing that extra player, right? Kenzie Thera with that knee injury. I think that's really affecting their rotations right now.
Rebels now. There's Rinsky, number 9. Nice.
I like that out of bounds play.
Back to the glass. Little hook by one of the smallest players on the team, and she's down there in the paint.
She may look small, but trust me, she is an aggressive little thing, and she is not going to let her size determine anything.
And is she ever battling with number 11, Peyton McNeil, and Rinsky not giving up an inch down there. And like as you mentioned, one of the smallest players on the floor, but one of the things you can't measure is heart down there, and in the paint is no place for the weak of heart. So with Skyhawks call a timeout here.
Yeah.
Down 18 here in the about midway through the second quarter of the women's final of the Totem Hoop Classic, brought to you by Ross Shepherd High School and, of course, ICU Video. ICU Video proud to cover amateur sports throughout the city. Of course, they are all over the U of A. Tonight, ICU Video shooting volleyball at Saville, shooting hockey at Claire Drake Arena, and of course we're here for the 2016 Totem Hoops Classic, and we are very, very pleased to be here for this fantastic tournament. Ross Shep always does a great job in terms of hosting, in terms of the events, and this is a big year for the school, Robin. Heading into the 60th anniversary, and it's an exciting time for the school, of course.
Well, big time, especially with all our renovations that are going on. As kids are walking through the new wings of our school, they're getting excited because it's contagious. The school looks beautiful, and our new gym will be opening up in September, and it's an exciting place to be right now.
Absolutely. 7:41 to go. Skyhawks down 18 here, so St. Albert needs to get something going as the Rebels seem to be slowing things down, really playing that half-court offense and really working the clock as well. Here's Huang, number 2, at the point guard. Legister now, and she gets called on the travel.
The right idea, though.
Skyhawks will take over here. Number 9, Brooke Fromont, will inbound to Morrison. And if the Skyhawks are going to close on this deficit, it's going to be Morrison who's going to play a big part. But a turnover by Morrison now. Good aggressive defense by number 7, McKenna Legister. Here's Olivia Huang now out to Legister, number 7. Rinsky now will fire up a 3, and it just nearly goes. Morrison now with the rebound. And the foul called on number 2, Huang of the Rebels. And if you're the Skyhawks, Robin, right now, you're trying to beat this press and start getting some points on the board.
Well, the thing about pressure is it's designed to speed you up and make you make mistakes. And I think right now, being more deliberate and more patient with the pressure, just trying to score layups, that's the way you'll get JP to take that press off of you.
Number 11, Peyton McNeil, unfortunately for the Skyhawks, not a lot of what we would call in basketball ball luck. They seem to, there's the basketball gods aren't working for them right now at this stage anyway. A lot of hard luck shots here. So another travel on the Rebels will change the possession arrow. So we've had a couple of turnovers and a couple of travel calls. So
that'll change the flow, I think.
Number 8, Lauren Cardinal now. Rebels now with a little bit of a press. Rinsky now on Morrison. Good defense by number 12, Sydney Fedek. Down low, drive to the basket. Skyhawks will maintain possession. Good drive by number 9, Brooke Fromont, on that last play.
The tough thing right now is that JP is getting a piece of everything, a piece of every shot, a piece of every pass, and that just really slows down the flow in your offense.
Of course, as we mentioned, with that veteran lineup, 8 grade 12s in the Rebels lineup, certainly when it comes to defense, a veteran lineup always helps.
Yeah, there's no question.
Good step back by the Skyhawks. That's number 8, Lauren Cardinal, with her own rebound. She'll kick it back out to Morrison, over to Cardinal. She will drive, and it just won't go.
It's a tough one.
And Cardinal will finish things up for the Skyhawks. Good work by the Skyhawks.
That's some nice relentless offense, just not letting the, as you say, the ball luck.
And that's Alyssa Gerhardt down the baseline with the hoop and the harm, and she will shoot 1.
That was a great finish there inside.
Number 4, Alyssa Gerhardt, the 5'8" grade 12, her first appearance on the floor, and she's already made a statement with good baseline drive and converts the single foul shot. So a big play by the Rebels to answer back that Skyhawks bucket down low.
That's the right look inside, though. That's what they need to be going for, is breaking that pressure and pushing it in transition as quick as you can.
Skyhawks now content to go with half-court defense, no press on the Rebels. It's number 11, Haley Weaver, and a big turnover by the Skyhawks. Here comes Morrison with the drive. Weaver with the defense.
It's a great fearless take there. You know, she's going up against a bigger athlete, and she just went strong with her shoulder square to that backboard, and that's a good way to get that foul call.
Foul on number 11, Weaver. Morrison will shoot 2. It's number 22, Victoria Gortzitsa, checking in for the Skyhawks, the grade 11 forward. Morrison converts her first foul shot. 29-11 here with 5:33 to go here in the second quarter. Totem Hoops Classic from Ross Shep, the 24th edition. Morrison converts her two, and number 11, Peyton McNeil, and number 7, Marina Kane will check back in for the Skyhawks. Here's number 5, Morgan Mudge, back in the game for the Rebels. Now watch this Jasper Place team move the ball and work the clock. Here's Mudge down here on the near side to number 4, Gerhardt. And a steal by number 7, Marina Kane for the Skyhawks. And she's content to slow things down. Mudge with some relentless defense. Baseline step back now. And the 3 won't go. That's number 9,
Great
Brooke
rebounding.
Fromont. Tough work in the paint. And here comes Mudge. And the foul called. It's by number 7, Marina Kane with the reach-in. Marina Kane with the reach-in foul, 4:53 to go. Weaver will kick it out to inbound to number 4, Gerhardt. Weaver now will try the 3 and hits from downtown. It's Weaver's second 3 of the ball game, and she's starting to get some confidence in terms of outside shooting.
Yeah, well, she can really shoot it, and that'll be something that I think we'll see more of. Haley Weaver can really score when she puts her head down and she wants to. She is going to really put points on the board.
Mudge and Weaver. Hot combination for the Rebels in this tournament. Of course, the Rebels winning a tight one in that first semifinal, 67-63 over Spruce Grove. Steal now by the Skyhawks, and the drive. Number 7, Marina Kane. Foul on number 5, Morgan Mudge, with good defense coming back. Kane will shoot 2 with 4:16 to go here. Of course, want to throw a shout out and some big thanks to all of the volunteers, the student volunteers, teacher volunteers, the athletic department, and the staff and students here at Ross Shepard. The Thunderbirds put on such a great show for this basketball tournament. It is one of the biggest preseason basketball tournaments in Western Canada, and it's certainly a great way to get the teams going. You get that tournament experience, and starting Monday or Tuesday, they're right on the floor, and the regular season begins.
Yeah, it hits you fast when you finish your first weekend, but this is such an important weekend for these teams to really set the tone for what their season's going to look like. It's a great tactic for coaches to come out and try out some different things that they've maybe been teaching in the preseason, so this is a big weekend for high school basketball. And
as we mentioned, these two teams, and we have to mention Spruce Grove as well, but yes, these two teams, Jasper Place and St. Albert, both certainly can be spoken about. They're in the equation for provincial titles.
Yeah, there's no question. I think this year's provincial title is going to be a very close one. There's no question.
Skyhawks now have some work to do, down 20, 4:16 to go here in the second quarter. Jasper Place in their traditional black and red lead 32-12. This is number 7, Marina Kane. Shoots her first and gets it to go. And Kane will now shoot her second. The foul on number 5, Morgan Mudge of the Rebels. Rebound by number 11, Haley Weaver. She'll feed it over to Mudge. She'll stop and drop.
That is a nice look in transition. Tough shot to hit because your body is moving forward and you want to go up.
Pass won't convert. This is number 4, Gerhardt. And Mudge now will slow things down. Mudge now. Nice little crossover. And she draws the foul by number 9, Brooke Fromont. Nice little step over by Mudge. And a good stop, as you mentioned, that where she stopped. She was going at full stride and was able to pull up and shoot.
That shows a lot of athleticism to be able to stop your body in midair and and find that motion.
Number 8, Lauren McDonald, now in the game for the Jasper Place Rebels. Playing the 5 for the Rebels. 6-foot grade 12 for Jasper Place. Rebels now with the press. Skyhawks going to need to move the ball to try and counter, but a steal by number 5, Morgan Mudge. And she'll stop and can't get it to go. McDonald now in a battle for the ball with number 7, Marina Kane. Mudge with relentless defense in this first half.
Yeah, there's no question. She just doesn't seem to run out of energy. It never stops.
Whether she's directing traffic and quarterbacking the offense, what a leader on defense as well.
Yeah, exactly. She used to be a player who got in foul trouble a lot, and you know, with that age comes a little bit of maturity, and I think she's learned how to handle her body in terms of not creating
Good
so many
rebound
fouls.
by number 11, Haley Weaver. New clock for the Rebels, and the Rebels content with that 21-point lead, content to move the ball around. Get it down low. Here's number 3, Chantel Mensah, and the 3, and it won't go. That's Morgan Mudge flying in there from the 1 spot all the way from the 3-point arc. I don't think you want to get between her and the ball. Morgan Mudge, I'll tell you, what a leader for that. I mean, talk about leading by example.
Yeah.
And a steal by the Rebels. Great defense by Jasper Place. Number 4, Alyssa Gerhardt, and number 12, Sydney Fedek, right down the middle. And the Rebels right now a step ahead.
Yep. It's that physicality. It's that, like we said earlier, when they sub, there is no loss. There is no change. They have so many players that can get out there and compete.
Olivia Huang now in for Morgan Mudge. The drive to the hoop by number 11, Peyton McNeil, won't go. Possession arrow will stay.
I think she stepped on the baseline there.
In St. Albert, yeah, in St. Albert's favor. I think on the rebound, I was, believe that was number 12, Sydney Fedek, who stepped on the baseline. So St. Albert will maintain possession. It's number 5, Abby Morrison. Across the floor, that's number 7, Marina Kane. Pass won't go down the middle, and here's number 12, Sydney Fedek. And a steal by the Skyhawks, and wide open for Peyton McNeil, and she will convert on the lay-in. St. Albert beating that press right now, Robin.
Yep, it's nice to see that, but you got to see JP, you know, they get scored on, they take the ball to the rim, and then they're going right again. There's no pause, there's no time to waste. Just running it right back down their throats.
Down low, down the baseline, won't go. Legister misses from the baseline.
I think Marina Kane's in foul trouble now.
Loose ball foul on number 7, Marina Kane. That's her 3rd foul of the evening, and as you mentioned, she's one of those key players, and Olivia Huang now converts her first, and you don't want to see her get into foul trouble. She's obviously a starter and a big part of that Skyhawks offense.
I think that's the tough thing when you play such a physical type of game, to not get into foul trouble, to be disciplined with your body while things are happening.
Big collision there between Olivia Huang and number 13, Bella Kutzitz. Both players are all right. Morrison, number 5, she'll kick it over to the far side. Drive to the hoop by number 14, Ain Murphy. Possession arrow will change, and St. Albert will call a timeout with 1:42 to go. Skyhawks checking on the status of their timeouts. Do not call a timeout.
If you call one and you don't have it, it's a technical, but you
That's
can
right.
ask the question. So
Sure, you can ask the question, absolutely.
it's a smart way to go about it.
That's right. And good defense by the Rebs, but beautiful shot down the baseline. Number 8, Lauren Cardinal with the nice touch. Rebels nearly stole that one. Approaching the final minute of the half. Rebels in full control here. There's Fedek. Steal now by the Skyhawks, but there's Olivia Huang with the press, as you mentioned, coming in for Mudge. And there is literally no difference between those two players. There's a 3 for St. Albert, rebounded, picked up by number 12, Sydney Fedek, and she's delivers to Huang. Huang down low, and it's number 10, Lillian Burke-Stasiuk, losing the handle on the ball with 46.5 seconds to go here in the first half of the women's final of the Ross Shepherd Totem Hoop Classic. Preseason basketball from beautiful downtown Edmonton. Here are the Skyhawks. Nice baseline move, but the travel on number 8, Lauren Cardinal. That'll change possession, 36.5 seconds to go. And the Rebels looking to finish this first half strong. So 30 seconds to go. About a 12-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So there will be 2 possessions here. Legister now for 3 and hits it from the top. Legister has got her shooting touch, Robin.
Yeah, showing a lot of confidence and just knocking down that high 3. And you can see JP in a zone here, just trying to change up the tempo to end the half.
Final seconds of the half. And will not go. That's number 11. Haley Weaver misses from about 17 feet, so we will have a 10-minute intermission, but the score at the half. The Jasper Place Rebels 38, the St. Albert Skyhawks 17. Of course, this is the final game of the women's senior final here at the Ross Shepherd Totem Hoop Classic. And we will be back in just a few moments' time to bring you the second half of the women's final. Be right back. Thank you for joining us. Good evening and welcome back to the 2016 Ross Shepherd High School Totem Hoop Classic. This is the final game of the Senior Women's Tournament here in the 2016 edition of the Totem Hoop Classic. Good evening. I'm Kevin Donnan for ICU Video, joined by Robin Fleckenstein, my analyst, and Connor O'Donovan on camera. And of course, we open the second half with the Jasper Place Rebels up 38-17. It has to be a surprise, Robin, that there's a 21-point deficit coming into this second half. Not something we expected.
No, you're right. I think that right now the trouble is that momentum, and I'm hoping to see here in the second half that we have a little bit of that momentum shifting back to the Satches players.
Of course, Robin, as coached throughout high school and CIS, Robin, it's a tale of really opposite ends of the spectrum here. If you are John Diedrich, the head coach of the Skyhawks, what were you saying in that 10-minute halftime?
Well, I would just be mentioning that 20 minutes is a long time. They can go up by 21 and a half, then you can come back by 21 and a half. There's no reason to feel despair right now, but they need to do it by doing the little things right, by taking care of the details and just be deliberate in their offensive sets.
Abby Morrison of the Skyhawks, number 5, lost the handle on the ball, but the Skyhawks will maintain possession. Number 7, Marina Kane, has got 3 fouls in this contest and picked up 3 fouls in the first half. She'll inbound. Here's Morrison, number 5. And if you're the Rebels, Robin, Lauren Green, the head coach of JP, what are you telling your players at the half? That's before we get back to that. Number 15, that's Sarah Diedrich. She draws the foul. But if you're Lauren Green and you're the Rebels head coach, what are you telling your players at the half with a 21-point lead?
I'd just be saying, we have to continue playing to win. You cannot play not to lose, because that is when the game shifts for you. So the Rebels have to stay aggressive. They have to keep that tempo high. They have to keep doing the little things that are working for them, like rebounding down defensively in order to run. So they just have to stay attentive to what they're doing.
And to Coach Green's tremendous credit, number 15, Diedrich, she misses both shots. Rebels will maintain possession. Number 11, Haley Weaver, who had a tremendous first half, inbounds to Morgan Mudge, number 5. The engine of the Rebel offense. There's Rinsky. Nice little pass down low to Weaver, but it won't go. And that's Peyton McNeil with the steal for the Skyhawks. Morrison now to number 8, Cardinal. Skyhawks with their starters back out. Here's the 3, and it just won't go.
I think that's a better job, though, of Satches showing some patience in their offense and getting actually through things. That was the longest offensive possession that they've had in quite some time.
Absolutely right on that. Good patience by the Skyhawks, and they'll need to show some patience if they want to get back into this one. Nice drive and a putback. Number 15, Diedrich, with a good defense in the paint for the Skyhawks. And it's that type of play that St. Albert needs.
Exactly. They just need those little hustle plays. All those little plays are going to add up to something big.
Morrison, number 5. Good ball movement by the Skyhawks. Here's Kane, number 7. And a good steal by Mudge, number 5 of the Rebels. But she stepped out on the far side. So 8:19 to go here in this third quarter.
Good to see her laugh that one off, though. Sometimes it's just not going to go your way, and you do everything you can.
Inbound now by Cardinal, number 8. That's Kane. Morrison now directing traffic. Good pick by number 11, McNeil. And the travel call on Morrison, number 5, is she gets caught taking the extra steps. The inbound by number 11, Haley Weaver. Mudge now will bring it up for the Rebels. Down low, won't go. Last touched by the Skyhawks, so the Rebels will maintain possession. And one thing we saw in that first half, Robin, was the Rebels were just a step ahead in terms of hustle.
Yeah, I think that the Rebels just had that great energy, and it was consistent for them, and they need to find a little bit of it right now because they are having a little bit of trouble scoring in these first 2 minutes.
Skyhawks now can start cutting away at that big deficit.
And JP's gone to zone now. They look a little bit messy.
Nice.
Satches makes them pay.
Big shot by number 7, Marina Kane, as she steps just inside the arc and buries it too.
She's a good shooter, that one, so if she heats up, JP might be in trouble.
7, Legister, speaking of being hot. Big defense. Number 15, Sarah Diedrich right now is a force in the paint for the Skyhawks, Robin.
That's just some great clean defense, being available for the help side when you're supposed to be there, so that's a good way to do it.
Diedrich now down low, kicks it back out to Morrison. The 3 won't go. Good rebound by number 11, McNeil of the Skyhawks. Step back 3, and it just nearly goes. Ball kicks back out to the Rebels. Rinsky now will step up, will stop and pop, and the Skyhawks possession arrow will change, and number 12, Sydney Fedek, will check in for number 7, Legister. So
JP looks a little bit shaky in that zone defense, so I think if they continue with that, Satches really has to push that ball inside and get the
step 3 and
open looks, just like that one. That's a nice open 3 for Abby.
Big shot by Morrison, number 5, and exactly what they needed. Here we go. Mudge can't get the ball to go, and here's Morrison again. Skyhawks now with some momentum.
JP's
Morrison now
panicking just a little bit here with a couple tough possessions, and they look a little nervous.
Diedrich now tries to drive, number 15. Foul call on number 12, Sydney Fedek.
I think we're going for a timeout here soon.
And it's a good time, and as you mentioned, the Rebels call timeout, and that is a good timeout call by Lauren Green, the head coach, because the Skyhawks have had the momentum here early in this third quarter.
There's 5 points, and no answer from JP, so that is a big moment for Lauren to have a chat with her girls. I think right now we're seeing what Satches can do so well, which is just being very trained in their movement and their motion, and they're disciplined in what they're doing. So if they continue with this, it's going to make it a real tough go for JP.
Of course, St. Albert with their first game Thursday afternoon with a narrow win over the Strathcona Lords 42-40. Then in that semifinal in the championship side of the tournament, taking down the host team, Ross Shep, 80-32. And certainly the Skyhawks in that first half, as you mentioned, there was some nerves, and they've got a young lineup. They're only 4 grade 12s, but now they seem to have come out of that first half, and have really, it's a different team, night and day difference, Robin.
Yeah. Well, if there's one thing that John Diedrich is so fantastic at doing, it's motivating his kids to continue to work hard and to get back to the basics, and that's what you can see right now, what they're doing.
And right now, in the paint, number 15, Sarah Diedrich, is providing shut-down defense down low. She's had a couple of huge plays defensively. And the Skyhawks with possession in the Rebel zone. That's number 11, McNeil, and she hits. Nice little 12-footer. So the Skyhawks now gaining some confidence.
Yeah, they're just being smart with those looks, and I mean, no closeouts in the zone from JP right now, so I don't know how long they'll stay in that defense.
JP now, Fedek now will try for 3, and it goes.
Don't see a lot of 3s out of her.
No,
so.
I was going to say.
That's nice.
You get a 3 from the 5.
That's a big thing when you can stretch the floor with a 5 who can shoot the 3. It's nice.
You know you're having a good night, and the Skyhawks answer back. Peyton McNeil now, 2 buckets in a row on 2 straight possessions for the Skyhawks. She hits from 10 feet along the baseline, and Fedek now tries her luck again from beyond the arc. Why not try it again if you can hit them like that?
She's trying to get them to respect her and step out and guard her, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Rebels now on the press. Morrison now.
Good patience
to
there.
McNeil.
You can see right now, Satches in their press break, they're just patient with their movement. As soon as Morrison is guarding that or drawing that extra defender, she is finding the open man so that they can just move the ball and find that open look.
And John Diedrich, who the head coach just a few steps away, saying you got to shoot that three. If it's open, shoot the three.
Yep.
And Skyhawks certainly need to do that. St. Albert now.
I think for Satches right now, they need to know who they are. Like, I don't think we want Diedrich shooting a three, but I think you definitely want Abby Morrison shooting that three.
Rebels now, and big rebound by Diedrich, number 15. As we mentioned, a force defensively. Here comes Morrison now. 15-point gap. Was 21. And the Rebels will take over possession. Timeout called by St. Albert.
I think he's just going to talk to his girls about staying calm. Right now they're just getting sped up a little bit. I mean, JP scored, so it's one of those things where you get nervous because you're finally hearing an answer from the other team, so they need to calm down and just get back to their principles of their zone offense.
And St. Albert has earned the momentum here.
Oh, yeah, no question.
And like as you mentioned, now you know, as a player, you look up and you see, okay, we're starting to slowly chip away at that lead.
That's right.
And the adrenaline starts to take over, and suddenly you're not as calm and not as patient. So a good timeout call here by John Diedrich. And on the flip side, Lauren Green, the head coach of the Rebels, what's she telling her girls at this point?
I think that they've kind of lost their momentum from that energy. You're not seeing that aggression on defense. They're a little bit on their heels right now, and I don't know if that's from their zone or from just a change that happened over halftime. They seem a little bit complacent to me, and I hope to see them step back up on defense and provide that energy again.
Rebels was with just 3 points inside this first 5 minutes and 13 seconds of the third quarter. So right now, St. Albert has come out of the intermission and has taken control here. Olivia Huang now in control for the Rebels. At the point guard. Kick it out to Huang. She's got an open three, and it won't go. Diedrich now with the battle with Fedek. And here's Huang now. She'll step back, slow things down, direct that half-court offense. Number 7, Legister.
And there's an offensive foul there. That really swings the momentum as well.
Got to get the call here. I believe it was on number
12.
Number 12. That's Sydney Fedek. Rebels now pressing. Here's Diedrich, number 15, kicks it back out to Morrison. She thought about the three. Diedrich now, good ball movement, and Morrison steps back. And that three will go.
Just a kiss on the rim.
We talked about ball luck in the first half, and now the pendulum always swings back the other way somehow. So the Skyhawks were owed that one. That's number 4, Alyssa Gerhardt, with the strong move to the basket. And she'll shoot 2. So as we talked about, St. Albert suffered from a lack of ball luck in that first half, and Morrison has hit 2 big threes here in this second half, and the Skyhawks are slowly chipping away. There was a 21-point deficit coming on to the floor. Now we're down to 12. So the Skyhawks, like you say, are getting their feet under them and finding out who they are.
Yeah, that's right. I think they just have to stay focused on that goal, and right now offensive boards are really a big thing for them. We've now seen 2 O boards for JP, and that has to get shut down by Satches if they want to have a chance at.
Mudge missed the put back, and now the Skyhawks with some momentum here. That's number 8. Ooh. Nice little move along the baseline. That's Cardinal. Skyhawks can't convert, and Mudge back on the floor for the Rebels. Rinsky, number 9. Through the hands of Mudge, that's number 7, Legister. Tries to drive, steps back. That's Weaver, number 11, just beyond the arc at the top of the key. Rinsky now number 9. You get the shot away, but possession will change, and now number 11. Peyton McNeil will check in, and Sarah Diedrich, number 15, for the Skyhawks, who's done such an amazing job defensively. She's been the real catalyst of the Skyhawks here in this third quarter. Without her defensively, The Rebels are running away with this thing.
That's right. I think right now, and especially with Sarah Dietrich, she was doing such a great job of just being in the right place at the right time. And on that defensive rotation, that's so important.
Great play by number 9 of the Skyhawks. That's Brooke Fromont. She waited off the tip of that ball. She waited for that ball did a good job protecting the ball and allowing it to go out of bounds. And St. Albert maintains the possession arrow. So here's McNeil, number 11. Back out to Morrison. Thought about the three. She'll drive.
Just drawing that contact, and that's a tough one. Really, there's not much you can do as a defender when you're just off balance and out of position. And
non-shooting foul on number 5. That is Morgan Mudge.
Oh, that's a lot of out of bounds. They can use their whole repertoire of plays.
Exactly. They're going to go right. They're going to go right through the playbook on this one. So number 14, that's Aiden Murphy. She will inbound for the Skyhawks.
Oh, that's a great look there inside.
Good look by number 7, Marina Kane, but she can't get it to go. So it's a foul on the Skyhawks, and the Rebs will take over possession with 2:43 to go in the third quarter. Rebels up by 13.
Let's see if we can see a little patience here from JP.
Women's final game here in the Totem Hoop Classic Tournament. Foul called on number 11, Peyton McNeil, on the hold.
2 in a row on her.
Diedrich will check back in for the Skyhawks, number 15, who's operating the 5 and playing outstanding defense. But she's got her hands full with Haley Weaver here as she drives, kicks back out. There's Rinsky, number 9. Oh, Legister, and a big block.
Great piece of that one from Marina.
Number 7, Marina King, can't even call that one a block because she didn't get up in the air to shoot.
No, she just swiped down at the right time, and that's good hands-on defense, just being disciplined.
Morrison now. Watch Morrison and Mudge, the 2 number 5s going toe-to-toe here. It's been a great battle between these 2 guards. And I think Mudge is going to get called here on the bump. But these 2, it's been a treat to watch. Both number 5s. The 2 point guards going at it here. So that
I think that's a tough one. She was just trying to shoot the gap on that handoff. And
2, Olivia Huang checks in for the Rebels. That is Mudge's 4th foul.
Yeah. That's a tough one to stomach because that gets a no call a lot of times.
And it's a loose ball, and you don't want to give up a foul on something like that.
Especially not the 4th.
No, that is for sure.
Board here. Great opportunity for Satches.
Now Olivia Huang will try the long pass to Weaver, number 11, and she gets called on the extra step. So the Skyhawks now trying to shorten that, chip away at that lead. 1:55 to go here in the third quarter. Morrison now. Skyhawks now looking for an answer, looking to keep chipping away now. Diedrich, number 15. Over to Murphy, number 14. She'll drive. And she'll shoot 2. The foul on number 11, Haley Weaver. For 14, Ain Murphy will shoot 2 here with 1:38 to go.
And Lauren Green having some questions for the ref, and I think
going to say,
rightfully so. Honestly, it's the swing here is you're seeing a lot more of the same physicality and a lot more whistles on the same plays. So that can be very frustrating as a coach when the first half does not look like the second.
Murphy gets her second shot to go, so it's now a 12-point deficit for St. Albert. 12, Fedek now. She'll drive, stop, off the glass, won't go. Rebounded by number 7. Rebounded by Marina Kane. And she'll try the 3, short. Rinsky will rebound for the Rebels and bring it up the floor. Wide open. And the layup won't go. That's number 12, Fedek of the Rebels. And St. Albert will transition to the half-court offense. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Morrison now with the drive. She'll kick it back out. Good ball moving by St. Albert, and the
good patience.
2 won't go for Marina Kane. Good hustle by the Skyhawks. Murphy, number 14.
JP just being a little flippant with that basketball. They are not respecting the ball and taking care of it, and you can see that Satches is really making them pay for it.
St. Albert will maintain possession here. 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. Skyhawks looking to come all the way back from a 21-point deficit. Deficit's only 12 now. Nice little runner by Marina Kane, but it won't go. Here comes Olivia Huang.
It's good tempo there in transition.
Baseline, and it'll go.
Great answer from
Camille Wilson, number 13.
From McKenna. Great finish by McKenna Legister there in transition.
Check that was McKenna Legister. And she converts the foul shot. So she gets the hoop, the harm, and converts the foul shot. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Diedrich will turn, posts up, turns, and they won't go. Rebound by Fedek. Here's Rinsky, number 9. He's got Legister. Final seconds here. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Huang for 3 and hits it. Olivia Huang.
Oh my.
Big shot by the Rebels.
Scoring as many points in the last 40 seconds as they did in the rest of the quarter.
There you go. And of course, there is no greater game for momentum than the sport of basketball. And Olivia Huang with the big answer, the big 3.
That one hurts for Satches.
To close out, absolutely. And that's the kind of thing that can really take the air out of a team, Robin.
Yep, there's no question. I mean, a 14-point game becoming an 18-point game, and now you got 10 minutes left to play. That can be a real downer.
Now, in terms of strategy here, John Diedrich, what is he telling his team? You're down 18 with 10 to go. What's he telling the Skyhawks at this point?
I think right now Satches is getting good looks, but they're not converting on all of them. They're not making all of their easy layups. They're not finishing everything, and they need to just continue to be patient, continue to be aggressive, continue to find the open man as opposed to forcing into things that they think that they have. So the way that St. Albert came out of the half, that's the way they need to come out of into this quarter.
And win the quarter. Well, obviously you've got a mountain to climb here, but and for Lauren Green, I guess the key is for the Rebels: keep hustling, keep working, keep and being smart with the basketball.
Yeah.
Don't be careless. Try and maintain your possession and work the clock as well.
Yeah. There's no question they got to respect that basketball and hang on to it, and they need to stay physical, but smart physicality, not overly aggressive, because we did see there that trend of whistles going in the direction for St. Albert because JP was just getting flippantly aggressive.
Want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. This is the women's final of the 2016 Totem Hoop Classic, brought to you by Ross Shepherd High School and, of course, ICU Video. We do not podcast, we procast, and we cover amateur sports professionally throughout the Capital Region, and it is a pleasure to be here this evening as we wrap up the Women's Senior Tournament here, the 2016 edition, the 24th annual Ross Shepherd Totem Hoop Classic. Great to be here. Kevin Donnan with ICU Video, along with Robin Fleckenstein and our cameraman, Connor O'Donovan. Nice touch by number 12. That's Sydney Fedek.
Good patience there on offense for JP.
Fedek, the grade 11 post player, the 6-footer. Skyhawks now. That's number 8, Lauren Cardinal. Battle for the ball. Transition in. There's a steal by Olivia Huang. She'll kick it back out, and the Rebs content to slow things down.
Great read, and that's a nice shot.
Rinsky nearly converts the 3.
Nothing wrong with that look, though. That's a nice look in transition, and they were patient to pull it out. So you have to be happy with an almost in.
Yeah, that's right. And a good veteran play by Huang, too. Steal by Camille Wilson, number 13, on that pass through the middle. And the Rebs will slow things down. Here's Rinsky for 3, and she'll convert from downtown, from the corner.
And I know we were talking earlier about her being a smaller player, and I think smaller players have to be more clever in what they're good at. Sarah Rinsky is a fantastic three-point shooter, just along with being aggressive, and that's her shot, so they have to be happy with that.
Nice little pass from Brooke Fromont, number 9, to Peyton McNeil. She tries the layup. She's fouled, and she'll shoot 2 at the line. 8:31 to go, but a good veteran play by Olivia Huang. She could have driven the basket, but instead she stopped, slowed things down, and then the Rebels moved the ball around, worked the clock a little bit. So a very smart veteran play.
Yeah, there's no question. That's not something grade 10s do. Trust me, I have a team full of
You
them.
have your own. Yeah, Robin, of course, the coach of the T-Birds junior women's team, and of course you've had experience with the Pandas and with all levels of basketball. So good luck to your T-Birds this season, and of course in the Metro Capital Region. What a beautiful pass by Wilson, and she can't convert, but what a great pass by number 12, Sydney Fedek, who, as you mentioned, just in grade 11, but looking like she's been playing, looking like a grade 12 out there.
Yeah, well, Sid's been a big kid for a long time, so she's an aggressive person, and she does a great job of playing with her body type.
Camille Wilson converts her first foul shot. And she converts her second. So Rebels up now by 25 here. The Rebels with that 3 to close out the third quarter by Olivia Huang really changed things.
That's right. Momentum changers, especially at the end of a half or the end of a quarter. I mean, an easy, quick shot, that'll really change what happens when you come back into the game.
And in spite of the Rebels seizing the momentum here early in the fourth quarter, tremendous credit to John Diedrich and his players. They're not backing down. Peyton McNeil and Lauren Cardinal working the ball down low. And now Fromont here. But Skyhawks not backing down one bit.
No, and that's exactly what we hope to see. I mean, this is a championship game, so you want to see the girls leave it on the floor, and there's no question that's what they're doing right now.
Rebound by Fedek, number 12. Here's Legister with the almost reverse from the baseline, and the Rebels with a bit of a press here. Foul on Sydney Fedek. That's number 7, Marina Kane, bringing the ball up the floor. Checking in now for St. Albert are number 5, Abby Morrison, and number 15, Sarah Diedrich. 7:33 to go here in this contest, the women's final here at the Totem Hoop Classic at Ross Shepherd High School. T-Birds celebrating their 60th anniversary next fall, 2017. Here's number 15 now, Diedrich. Kick it over here near side. 3 won't go. Brooke Fromont misses, and Huang will bring the ball up for the Rebels. Legister, number 7, back out to Huang.
That's good patience there after pushing the pace. They're just coming back into their offense so that they can move through things that they like.
Weaver now.
Like that.
With
they like
the
that
big
a lot.
3, absolutely. And as you mentioned, that open look. And Weaver's going to hit that shot all day.
Oh, yeah, that's her shot. There's no question that she really likes to pop out. She's got a nice, big, athletic body frame, just like number 12, Sydney Fedek. So she is, I mean, a threat all over the floor, and that's the kind of player that you like to see.
I was going to say, for a coach to have, oh, there we go. What a beautiful pass and a beautiful reverse by Weaver.
Haley likes the reverse.
Converting that pass from number 2, Huang. And right now, as you mentioned, Weaver with the ability to battle down low and, as you mentioned, step back and make, good open and deep shots from anywhere on the floor. And right now, Huang and Weaver really owned that segment of the game for the Rebels. So Weaver with the ability to to rebound, fight for the ball, and then step back and shoot. So
yeah, and she likes those creative finishes inside. Sometimes a little too much, but it is a nice look to see a bigger player being crafty inside, and there she is scoring exactly like she can.
Weaver now driving to the basket, so she's showing us a little bit of everything. She's bringing everything in terms of the skill set right now. She can, and a good drive by the Skyhawks, and near follow-up by McNeil, number 11. That's number 15, Sarah Diedrich. She'll shoot 2. And foul on Weaver, number 11.
You can see Haley Weaver shrugging her shoulders, but, I mean, that's just a tough position as a defender. You can't really do much there. She stayed as straight up as she could. I think she got the foul because she turned her hips just a little bit, but as a defender, it's hard when your man is being aggressive and attacking the rim.
Weaver just doing a fantastic job here in this fourth quarter at both ends of the floor. The Rebels lead 62-30. They've really opened things up here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, she has great body control, and she's very patient, so it's nice to see a bigger player being able to finish at the rim in more creative ways.
22, Victoria Gortzitsa now on the floor for the Skyhawks. That's Diedrich, number 15, at the top of the key. Good feed down to McNeil, number 11, and she'll get called on the travel with 5.5 to go. And the Rebels up by 32. This is a bit of a surprise. We thought with both teams, especially the way they played in their respective semifinals, that this was going to be a very tight game.
Yeah, I think, St. Albert did a great job of coming back into what they could. That early injury really did not help things for them, though.
Haley Weaver, number 11.
She's putting on a show now.
She is putting on a clinic in this fourth quarter. And
well, I mean, Haley Weaver, she's been looked at by American schools. She's being highly recruited by all the big CIS schools out here. So, I mean, that's the kind of athlete that every CIS coach wants to bring into a program.
Abby Morrison with the nice little runner for the Skyhawks. And don't tell Morrison that there's a 30-plus differential in this ball game. Good ball movement by the Rebels. Here's Weaver now, number 11. So dangerous.
Abby
Feed
Morrison
it over
is
to Gerhardt.
Another good competitor. She just will not give up, so you got to love that.
Gerhardt misses the 3, and it is Abby Morrison who will bring the ball up for the Skyhawks. Diedrich now, number 15. The Twin Towers with McNeil and Diedrich for the Skyhawks. Nice little move by McNeil. She'll drive and get the foul as well. So foul on Taylor Pritchin for the Rebels, 5'8" senior for the Rebels.
Are really difficult to guard. It's just you don't have a lot of time to react as a defender, and if you're not already in good position, then you are just going to be in trouble.
1 minute timeout called here in the fourth quarter. 30-point lead for the Rebels. Following this contest, we will have the championship game of the men's draw right here from the small gym here at Ross Shep. Of course, the palatial main gym is going to get a facelift, and my colleague Robin, as a coach here, I imagine everyone is anxious for that new facility to open.
Oh, there's no question, because I mean, we're in limbo right now a little bit with the gyms. Like this being our large gym at the moment, it's not ideal. But when you look at what we are going to be getting, it's worth waiting for. So we're patient.
You bet. Men's draw, of course, coming up. We will have the host team. It's always exciting when the host team is in it. Ross Shep will host McGrath, and it looks to be an exciting final coming up as well.
Yes, I think that's going to be a great game, a great show of some physicality and athleticism.
With 4:18 to go, the Rebels have a comfortable 30-point lead, 64-34. ICU Video bringing you the final of the 24th Annual Totem Hoop Classic here from Ross Shep.
It's hard to believe that the Skyhawks had it down to 11, but that's how quickly the flow can go and what happens when you're playing against such a deep and talented team like JP.
And a very veteran team. You notice that the Rebels were very patient, even though the lead got down to 12. credit Lauren Green for calling that timeout late in the third quarter, calmed the Rebels down, and here we are, and Jasper Place took over. So some pretty good coaching by Lauren Green.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have those the timeouts at the right time, and you don't want to waste them. But there's no question that a well-timed timeout can really change the swing of the play.
Morgan Mudge now. Here comes Weaver. She'll drive again.
Nice pass.
A beautiful pass by Weaver to number 14.
You can already see the gym filling up in here, for the men's game.
Yeah, you can see that it is going to be a full house as the T-Birds look to capture the Totem Hoop Classic here. The Ross Shepherd men's, the senior team, going to take on McGrath, our friends from southern Alberta. Of course, Ross Shep has won their tournament 6 times since 2005. Of course, JP on the men's side won the tournament last year, but Ross Shep trying to make it 3 titles, 3 Totem Hoop titles, 3 in 4 years. So the T-Bird men's team look to
that's a great thing about
win their own
Coach Young's is that he always brings in the best teams that he can get, and it's always a fantastic competition. So that's what you want out of this opening tournament. You want to get some good competition to make sure that you're ready for your season.
Open look for Diedrich. Good drive by Morrison, but it won't go. Rebound by the Rebels. And it's Haley Weaver. Who else? Beautiful pass down low. Britchin can't convert, and the Skyhawks will bring it up with just over 3 minutes to go here. That's Marina Kane kicking it back out to Morrison, number 5. Morrison now will drive. Baseline. Kortsitsa can't get it to go. And the Rebels will take over possession. 2 new Skyhawks will check in, along with 3 Rebels. Morgan Mudge will come out. Number 11, Haley Weaver, getting a nice round of applause, or both players really getting a nice round of applause.
They
Here,
took
3
all their
minutes to
grade
go.
12s off the floor, so if you can believe it, these kids are all under grade 12, which is a tough thing because there are a lot of grade 12s on that JP team.
8 grade 12s for the Rebels, so a very veteran-laden lineup. And as you mentioned, yeah, the entire what you see out on the floor is the youth movement for the Rebels. But
if you can say that.
That's right, and I'll tell you,
no grade 10s, but
no, Lauren Green is set up well for the future because this, as we mentioned, it's a lot of grade 12s on the Rebels team, but what a great legacy to have in terms of those seniors who can teach these grade 10s and 11s, as you mentioned. Patience and defense are the 2 things you want to learn.
There's no question those 2 are highly important.
2:43 to go here in the women's championship game of the Totem Hoop Classic. There's the 3, and it won't go. It's number 9, Sarah Rinsky. Skyhawks will bring the ball up the floor, and here's Abby Morrison, number 5, who's had a stellar game for St. Albert.
She really has. She's a fierce competitor, and you've seen her just continue to work through everything. So a lot of credit to her for that almost comeback there in the third quarter.
Strong move down the baseline by Sarah Diedrich, but it won't go. Rebounded by number 3, Chantel Mensah. 5'5", grade 11 for the Rebels. Down low now, there's Fedek.
Hard to believe she's a grade 11.
And she is able to drive to the hoop and pick up a couple. 2 minutes to go here, 32-point lead for the Rebels, as the Rebels will complete this tournament as the women's champions. 3 won't go for number 8, Lauren Cardinal, and that is Fedek with the rebound. Over to McDonald, she'll try a 3, won't go. And Fedek with the rebound for the Rebels. She'll spot up for 3. Won't go. She had a nice open look.
Yep, there's no question that there's nothing wrong with that shot.
St. Albert will take possession here with 1.5 minutes to go. Kevin Donnan of ICU Video along with Robin Fleckenstein. women's championship game coming to a close. Just over a minute to go here, in a fantastic performance by both teams. But Jasper Place, the Rebels, have come in and have really set the tone. Came out early, that they owned the first half. Kind of took a step back in the third, but boy, when it came, as soon as we started to get worried and started to think, okay, we're going to come back from this 12-point deficit, the Rebels just found another gear here.
I think the tough part of coming into a half up 20 is that you can lose that momentum. You can become complacent, that things are just going to keep going your way. And we did see that Sachs did a good job of taking advantage of the opportunities that they had. But at the end of the day, JP is just a tough team to play against.
It's Abby Morrison, who doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. She steps on the baseline. And I mean, a tremendous performance by absolutely. As a coach, I mean, that's you can't ask for much more. I mean, even in a 30-point game with 45 seconds to go, tremendous credit to John Diedrich, as these Skyhawks have not given up one bit. No,
they're fighting just as hard as they were all the way through the game, so lots of respect for that. It is too bad to see number 4, Kenzie Thera, who went down in the first quarter, to see that loss. I mean, it may have been a very different game if she was
very true. Thera with that right knee. Oh, and a nice move inside. That's number 12, Kea Vandermeer, the grade 10 forward, with the nice drive. Left-hander from the foul line, and she'll have an extra shot here. 20.6 seconds to go. And as you mentioned, that's Kenzie Thera, number 4 of the Skyhawks, the grade 10 guard. She was hurt with 4 minutes into the first quarter, and that can really change things, like you mentioned, in terms of the rotation. It's a little bit of a, when she doesn't come back, the rest of the team is a little bit taken aback. Can take them out of it, in terms of mentally. So that was a big loss for St. Albert.
Well, the tough thing about basketball is generally in your rotation there are about 8 players. So if you have a rotation of 8 players and then all of a sudden you have a rotation of 7, that really changes things, and you may be reaching deeper into your pockets than what you really have.
And a big congratulations to the Jasper Place Rebels, who close out a big 66-36 victory over the St. Albert Skyhawks here in the women's final of the 2016 Ross Shepherd Totem Hoop Classic. Our congratulations go out to the Jasper Place Rebels and head coach Lauren Green for winning this 24th annual edition. My name is Kevin Donnan. On behalf of Robin Fleckenstein and our cameraman Connor O'Donovan, we want to thank you for joining us on this ICU video presentation of the Ross Shepherd Totem Hoop Classic. We'll have the awards presentations, and in just a few moments we will have the final of the men's championship game. And once again, congratulations to the Jasper Place Rebels senior women's team for a fantastic performance here in the championship game. Robin?
Totally agree.
As we close things out, I guess give us your assessment of this game. It was 30-point difference, but certainly Jasper Place really came out in that fourth quarter and took things over.
There's no question this was the fast-paced game we expected it to be, and it was physical, it was aggressive, and at the end of the day, when you have 12 kids versus 8 kids, it makes it difficult to compete.
Player of the game presentations being made here at the T-Bird Gym. Great performances on both rosters, really. Full credit to both coaches, and no surprise, Abby Morrison, number 5, the grade 11 point guard of the Skyhawks, is named player of the game for St. Albert, and the player of the game for the Rebels. Another player of the game is.
I think they're going to call all the kids.
For medal presentation going here, so. We'll have the Skyhawks will receive their medals. And if you're picking the player of the game for the Rebels, who are you picking, Robin?
I think it's no question that Haley Weaver produced a lot of momentum in a number of consecutive scores for JP. So I think that she's hands down the one for this game.
And brought a bit of a calming influence in that fourth quarter, too, in terms of defense and shooting especially. Like, she hit some big shots, drove the ball well, and she seemed to calm things down a little bit too.
Yeah, she just took the ownership. She put the team on her back and scored the points that they needed in order to get that flow back in their favor.
And so we will have a trophy presentation to the Skyhawks. The runner-up trophy.
That's the one that gives you the muscles.
You bet. But a great tournament for St. Albert. Of course, they came through with victories. With 2 victories to get here to the championship game. St. Albert defeating Strathcona. No surprise. Yeah, there you go, as you predicted. And Haley Weaver with the player of the game mention for the Rebels. So congratulations to Haley, who did a lot of dirty work down in the paint, and has at the same time hit some very big shots. As we mentioned, St. Albert got here by defeating the Strathcona Lords and the Ross Shepherd T-Birds, and of course JP.
And that's our MVP of the tournament, Camille Wilson.
Camille Wilson, number 13, who had a tremendous tournament and a tremendous championship game in terms of rebounding and shooting. So tremendous performance by number 13 of the Rebels, who is named the Totem Hoop Classic Most Valuable Player, and the Rebels will be presented with their gold medals. Olivia Huang, who had a 3-pointer at the end of the third quarter that really changed the game. The Rebels really took over from there.
Yeah, there's no question that was a momentum changer.
JP with victories in this women's draw. They defeated McGrath in their first game and then took down Spruce Grove 67-63. And, of course, when they closed this one out with a 66-36 victory. So on behalf of my analyst, Robin Fleckenstein, cameraman Connor O'Donovan, my name is Kevin Donnan for ICU Video, and we want to thank you for joining us. And in just a few moments' time, we will have the men's championship game from the 2016 Totem Hoop Classic. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the men's championship.